What's going on, everybody? I'm Tank, and this is another episode of Roadie Reactions.
Get with this.
In today's reaction video, we're going to be returning to one of my favorite Swedish bands that we've discovered on this channel so far. And of course, I'm talking about Sabaton, man. And when I started this journey listening to their music, I started off with a music video. It was the video for Bismarck, and it kicked ass. But ever since I've seen live videos of this band, that's all I want to see, man. It is so impressive, and I don't think I've ever seen a band in my life that has had as much energy and crowd interaction as they do. It's off the chain every single time, man, and I'm super excited about checking this one out. And we're going to be going back to a festival we've seen them at before on this channel. And this festival, coincidentally, has some of the biggest crowds in the world when it's held every year, so I can only imagine this one's going to be insane too. So I will link this video in the description below, and today, I'm going to be listening to Sabaton with the song Uprising live at Woodstock, Poland 2012. Let's go! Before we get to this chorus, let's just talk a little. So we've seen a couple performances on this channel so far of this festival, and this is Woodstock, Poland, which is now known as Poland Rock. So the story that I understand is that the promoter who started this festival, who created it, was inspired by Woodstock in the US to start a festival like this in Poland and called it Woodstock, Poland. Well, years and years and years later, whoever owns the name Woodstock in the US decided to sue them over it. So they changed their name to Poland Rock. Seems a little intense considering Woodstock in the US isn't even going anymore, but what do I know? So at festivals like this, a lot of the lighting that you see on stage is house lighting. It's already there. So most of what you're seeing hanging lighting-wise is not Sabaton's. Some of it could be. They could have came in early and hung a little more supplemental stuff, but most of their stuff that you're going to see in this set is like their risers on stage, the drum kit, all the pyro, stuff like that. So, and speaking of pyro, we have seen some gas-based flames so far. In other performances, we've seen explosives and stuff like that. So I don't know what we're going to get yet, but I'm interested. Let's go. Look at that crowd, man. We'll lead back into that I think before I do these Sabaton videos from now on, I'm going to watch the Sabaton history beforehand. Because normally I watch these and then go to their YouTube and watch the Sabaton history thing that they have on it. If you're not familiar with that, they have a history channel on YouTube where they explain the history behind all of their songs. And it's super rad. I think it might mean a lot more. One of the things I noticed when it was showing shots of their drummer was that he was playing barefoot. And I've had the question asked before, is there any advantage to a drummer playing with shoes on or playing barefoot? The answer is no. That is totally all for feel. I've played with drummers that have played barefoot. I've played with and worked for drummers that play with shoes. It's totally a feel thing, man. And speaking of their drummer, a lot of people always like to remind me, especially in these videos when we've watched at Woodstock, that Sabaton's drummer is married to Floor from Nightwish. He's not. And I say he's not because that's not Hannes. That is actually Roban Bach. And I hope that I just said his last name correctly because I'm horrible with pronunciations. I believe his last name is pronounced Bach. But correct me if I'm wrong. He was with the band for a very short time between their original drummer and Hannes. Playing a Yamaha kit. I haven't seen the cymbals and I can't remember off the top of my head from the last Woodstock video I saw what he was playing. Per, as always, playing ESP LTD. He plays that F-Series bass. Super sick, custom. He's got that wrap on it with the camo. And we'll talk about some of the other guitar players in a little bit after this. Oh, great pyro shots. Oh my God. All right, before this other solo, Chris is playing a Comparison custom. Looks like a Dellinger 7, and I believe it was from the last time we saw a Poland video as well. These guys now are playing a lot of different... I've seen him with ESPs, Ibanez, and I haven't seen him with that Comparison in many videos, so that might be just for a couple specific songs. And a lot of people have been asking me lately, what is the advantage of switching guitars during songs? Because as we've seen Nightwish videos, Empu never switches guitars. He plays the same guitar the whole set. When you see guitar players switch guitars, it's usually about the tuning. If they change tunings for songs, it's easier to get a fresh guitar from their tech that they can just throw on and go, rather than retuning on stage. Sometimes it's about tone. Sometimes it's also about feel. Sometimes they can pull off solos better on thinner necks or different feeling necks. So those comparisons are cool, man. Let's listen to this solo and then we will talk about that guitar. Keep going. Every hand up clapping. And an air mattress. And those flame shots are liquid base flame units going right now. Oh, we're going to lead back into that. But let's talk. So Toba England, who is not in the band anymore, is playing a Fender Stratocaster. And I found that interesting the first time that I ever watched this band, because that's not a guitar you usually see with metal bands. I saw in an interview, I can't remember the direct quote, so don't quote me on this, but he said he enjoys the Fenders because rather than just grabbing something with like EMG active pickups in them or something that's built for like metal shredding, the Fender forces him to have more expression and feel in his playing, and he likes it more. And that's super cool, man. I mean, you can get any tone if you have the right rig. So it doesn't matter that he's using a Fender. It was just interesting to me that a Fender was what he chose, and it's super cool. He's still rocking it. The last thing I'll say about this band that I love is you see over time a lot of bands change their image. They can't decide what they want to do, or they change it with their album cycles and stuff like that. These guys rock the same image and look always. They have picked what they want to go with, and they are going with it hard, and I love it, man. It's like they have that signature, unique style. You know when you go see Sabaton, they're going to look like that, and people are pumped for it. Let's finish this off. Let's go. Oh, man, I love it. Let's go talk about it. Love this band, man. I really do. And it's interesting because on a live stream recently, I talked about how my musical taste has been kind of changing. I used to be really close-minded and secluded with certain genres of music. And even as recent as maybe a few years ago, I really wasn't that into, like, power metal sounds and sounds like this, and now it's some of my favorite stuff that I've been listening to on this channel. I just absolutely love it. It gets me fired up when I listen to it, man. And I actually, before I came into this outro, Ghost Division came on YouTube next from the same festival, and I just watched it again because I love that song. And I normally don't put the same music from the same bands in my intros and outros, but I'm probably gonna put Ghost Division under this outro just because it's f***ing awesome. Let's be real here. But I loved this, man. I can't wait to check out more and more and more of this band. And I can't wait for the day that I can finally go see them live because I'm just going to be headbanging my ass off and having a good time, man. And I hope to see some of you guys there with me. So if this is your first time here, feel free to click subscribe. I'm releasing new videos all the time. So if you turn your alerts on, you'll be notified the second new stuff comes out. If you liked this video, I would greatly appreciate the like because it does help my channel out. But if you disliked it, no worries, man. Click the dislike button, move on. I'm also on a ton of different social media. I even have a Discord server that I hang out in often, and I will link that in the description below if you would like to join. My handle on everything social media related is @TankTheTech. Thank you so much once again for watching. I will be back very soon with another episode of Roadie Reactions.